I am Katie from Heart's Content Farmhouse, and today we are going to be making a really delicious summer berry pie. So this recipe combines raspberries and blackberries. A lot of recipes like this have blueberries too, but for me, our blueberries are never ready at the same time as the raspberries and blackberries, and I like how tart the raspberries and blackberries are. So this is just blackberries and raspberries for the filling, and it is better that way, I think. One thing to keep in mind with this recipe is that the sweetness of your fruit is really going to vary. So you are going to need to taste the filling when you're done, and if it is sweeter, if it is too sweet, feel free to add a little bit more sugar. I started out in the recipe, I'm just putting in 1 cup of sugar. That is probably the minimum that you want to use. You may want to go up to a 1/4 cup more of sugar depending on your taste and the sweetness of your berries. So we are going to start with just a prepared pie crust. Obviously you could do this as a lattice top or as a regular double crust pie just with slits. That is totally up to you. Any pie crust is going to work. I would go for one that does have some sugar in the recipe. One of my favorites is Ina Garten's recipe, and I will link to that below. So we're going to do 7 cups of berries, blackberries and raspberries. You can do half and half. You can do an unequal combination. It doesn't matter, but you want 7 cups of berries, and then you want to put them in a big saucepan. Add a cup of just plain white sugar to that, and then heat it up on your stove. The reason we're going to do that is you want the berries to start releasing their juices, and that is going to help when we add cornstarch in to thicken things up really well. So we're going to simmer for about 5 minutes. And while that's happening, you want to mix 2 tablespoons of cornstarch with about 2.5 tablespoons of lemon juice and make that into sort of a liquidy paste. Pour that right into the saucepan that the berries are in, and then let everything simmer for about a final 5 minutes. You don't want it to like cook down into a jam. You still want to be able to see some whole berries, but what we want to do is have the cornstarch mixed with the berry juices so that it thickens up and you get a slice of pie that will actually keep its shape when you cut it. So once that is done, you take it off the heat and you can pour it right into your prepared pie crust. Put your second crust on top, and then just to help things turn extra golden and to give you a little bit of extra sugary crunch, you're gonna brush the pie crust with milk and sprinkle it with sugar. I like to use a really coarse sugar that keeps its shape in the oven and adds crunch. If you don't have that, you can just use regular granulated sugar, and that is gonna work fine too. Goes in the oven at 400 degrees for 45 minutes, and then comes the important part. Let it cool to room temperature, and then you have to put it in the fridge to cool longer. Even though we added the cornstarch, it's still gonna be super runny if it does not cool a long time, at least 4 hours. You want it to be cool when you serve it, not room temperature, not kind of cool, it has to be cool. So 4 hours, even if you can do it overnight, is best. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this recipe or any others, be sure to leave me a comment and I will do my best to help you.